It's funny, I think about this, I sit back sometimes and I laugh because people ask me all the time, they say, how do you do it? How are you able to just think about something and it comes to you? When I think the question they need to ask themselves is, why can't they? And I'll tell you why. I'll tell you exactly why. You have to be able to look at life differently. You have to be able to wipe that slate clean. Forget everything you were ever taught. Forget whatever anybody's going to say about who you are as this new person you're evolving into, and just believe in yourself. When times get tough, hit the books on yourself. Look at your astrological map. Understand astrology. Look at your numerological map. Understand numerology. Look at palmistry and read your body. Look at your health issues, your medical theology. Start to write your own prescriptions in life, folks. See what you're deficient in. Become more balanced within yourself. Know that you have a purpose in life. Find out what that purpose is. I'm telling you what, that purpose is not to work at a job you're unhappy at. That purpose is to feel fulfilling to yourself, to your family. When you lay in that grave, people aren't going to remember you if you never put any effort into your life. People aren't going to remember you if you just did the same thing day after day, day in and day out. They're going to remember the people that try. They're going to remember the people that put themselves out there, the people that fail, the people that win, the people that succeed through failing. Those are the people that will be remembered because they didn't give up. They kept going when the going got tough. They're out there at 4 a.m. training in the rain, in the snow, in the elements, because that's what makes you stronger. Same with astrology. Keep digging. The stars do not lie. Christianity will tell you this is a lie. Other religions will tell you this is a lie. But anybody who's going to tell you it's a lie, they're only lying to themselves because they don't believe in it. Because they're so narrow-minded and closed off to anything that could be true and anything that's not within alignment of their beliefs. I'm just saying, be open. You start to look in all these other religions and you're going to see a commonality between them all. You're going to see it and you're going to laugh. You're going to laugh. You're going to say, boy, was I a fool for ever believing in such theories. But that's when you get your atheists, your non-believers, because they're like, well, God is not real. Heaven's not real. Hell's not real. The center of the earth is not real. This flat earth theory is not real. This human farming theory is not real. But no, that's where you're wrong. Just because it's commonality, maybe it's the message that's real. Doesn't necessarily have to be these fictional characters. But if the message is a commonality, then you should take it for what it is and believe it in all. Find a way to make it all coexist, as should we, as a society, as a world, as a culture. Gotta find a way to make it work. How do you do it? Be open-minded. Be receptive. Take somebody's words only to fit your puzzle, but write your own script. So in essence, if you're going to go to church and you're going to listen to this preacher, and he says mother, and he says father, don't necessarily put a face to these figures. Because mother and father is also emotions and ego. So if God is within, then God is without. So mother and father now becomes your head, father, ego. Your mother, emotions. The other half of your body. You just got to be more open-minded. Stop being closed off. Stop expecting all these specialists to help you when you can just help yourself. All you have to do is learn. You can do whatever anybody is doing. You can do that. You don't need anybody to tell you that you're sick. I think you know you're sick. So we go to a doctor. And the doctor says, well, you're sick. And I say, well, yes, I know, doctor. I'm sick. That's why I'm here to see you. And they give you something that you could have just went down to the store or got yourself. But that right there tells you you're not even worthy of your life if you can't put your life in your own hands. Get the flu shot, they say. Get the flu shot. Do you even know what's in the flu shot? I don't know. I don't want to know. But I'll tell you what. I know that if I wash my hands, I know that if I keep myself clean and sanitary, and I believe in myself, and I keep my body health up, then I know I'm not going to get the flu. Simple as that. You think about it, you worry about it, you invite it in. You don't think about it because you know you're not going to get it. Guess what? You're not going to get it. Fear and doubt. Fear and doubt. Those words shouldn't even exist. If they didn't exist, we'd be a way more advanced society. The only thing you have to fear is fear itself. It's not really anything, because when it comes down to it, if you can fight off that fear, what you bring to the table, if you did the work, is going to be more than what the last person did. You have to dedicate yourself spiritually. You have to connect yourself mentally to spirit. The rest just flows. It's like water. The downloads start coming in. The healing starts happening. The reverse osmosis within yourself starts to occur. You feel those particles and those strands healing and those fibers reaching out, grabbing new fibers, and mending your soul. It's light, folks. Light travels pretty damn fast, and it heals along the way. It fills in those dark voids, those hard-to-reach cracks. And it fills them up with warmth again. Fills them up with healing. Then after that, start to help others. Start to help others see a new way, see the walls that they keep getting stuck on. And that's where you reach abundance. That's when you reach fulfillment in every way, shape, and possible. Is seeing the smile on somebody's face. Is hearing somebody say, boy, you are very smart, or isn't that an ancient philosophy? But you know what? Even if it's for 5 minutes, that 5-minute smile on their face was setting off a positive vibration that impacted whoever else was standing around them. And then guess what? Yes, a chain reaction. Then they spread that positive thought to their brother, to their sister to their neighbor, to their friends. All because you showed somebody a little bit of guidance. You opened their mind a little bit more. You did that. And like my mother always said, what goes around comes around. What goes around comes around. I'm going to tell you a story. Last Christmas, 2017, I looked under the Christmas tree, and I know it doesn't matter to have gifts and whatnot, but kids don't understand that. Because we gave Christmas a different name, a more corporate name, these years. But anywho, I looked under the tree and I thought, man, that looks kind of weak. So I had this small account, which was meant for a car payment. And every so often, there was an extra week in the month where an extra $80 got put in there. So I went to this bank account figuring I had maybe $300 extra in there, which was plenty. It's more than enough, more than what I needed. So I go to this bank and I talk to this teller because it's an automated bank telling machine, and I say to her, I said, ma'am, I would like to know how much is in my bank account. And she says, one moment, sir. She says, $1,236. I said, well, no, that can't be right. I said, is there a couple car payments that might not have gotten taken out? And her response was, no, everything seems to be up to date, sir. How much would you like to withdraw today? Me being shocked, being the sole account holder, and nobody else has any information on that account other than myself, was shocked. So what did I do? I took out the $300 I needed, and I was blessed to have that money there when I needed it. So I took that $300 and I went and I got the kids, some clothes and things like that for the winter. And I had $40 left in my pocket by the time I was done. It's okay. So I go to work after that, and I still have this $40 in my wallet. And I remember it was the Friday before Christmas. It was probably the 21st. And really, really cold day. Probably one of the coldest, windiest days. Snow drifts blowing. Just a bitter snap chill. And here's this man coming up the street. Hardly clothed. I mean, he's got a long sleeve shirt on and he's got pants, but they look like mechanic pants, which have no inner insulation. And the shirt was just a regular t-shirt with long arms. And he's flipping over trash can, or flipping up dumpster lids and trash can lids, and he's seeing what he can find. And I know he's looking for food, so immediately I go to my center console in my work van and I pull out a bag of chips. No, sorry, it was Smart Food popcorn. And I pull this popcorn out and I'm looking around. I got this little bag of nuts and I'm like, all right, I got some popcorn, I got some nuts, and I'm reaching for my change bucket. He comes to my window. I say, oh, sir, hold on. And he sits there, and I reach for the popcorn. I give him the popcorn. I give him the nuts. And I say, I got some money for you. And I'm reaching for this change, and I remembered I had that $40 in my pocket. So I thought about it for a second, released the grasp of the change, went to my wallet, and I grabbed that $40, and I gave it to that man, and I said, please, sir, right around the corner is the Salvation Army. I'm willing to bet they have a coat in your size there, and this $40 should be more than enough to get you a coat and a fresh pot of food to eat. He says, thank you, sir. He says, thank you. I really appreciate that. Are you sure? I said, you know what? I didn't know I had this money before today, so if I was able to use it and still had enough for somebody else, then yes, sir. I am absolutely positive you may have it. So he graciously accepted it, and off he went. Amazing feeling that was, giving that man that money. Because we're all a little strapped for cash. I get that. But seeing somebody in a more unfortunate position than yourself, that $40 means a lot more to them than it does you. So I felt great. I felt alive. I didn't care that I was missing $40 because he was happy. Later that night, I get back to work and have all these presents that I need to wrap. So the time is getting late, and I know I have to go home and wrap them because I'm having my children for the next day. I believe at that time I was off the clock at 10, so I got a call around 9, and I said, crap. This call was on the other side of town. So it was a 20-minute drive there, 20-minute back. I'm already going to be an hour past my shift time. And I'm not a very good present wrapper at that. So I took this call, and I went across town, and this customer of mine was having issues with a tiny leak on her water heater gas. And I knew that my job is to shut this water heater off. And I can get that. I get that a machine would do that. But I have a heart. And I have knowledge. And I have tools. And I will not put somebody without hot water the day before Christmas. I'm sorry. So I fixed it. And I told the lady, I said, as long as you don't tell anybody, I won't tell anybody. And she agreed. So I fixed that water heater. I went upstairs, and I'm getting ready to walk out the house, and she's trying to offer me money. I said, oh, no. I said, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. And she says to me, and it's just funny, the irony of it, she says, if you don't tell anybody, I won't tell anybody. And touche, I thought, okay, all right, I'll go with it. So I accepted her gift of money, and I go out to my van, and I'm filling out my job order. I don't know, it just dawned on me to think to just, I wonder how much she gave me. Sure enough, I unroll that small wad of money, and it just so happened to be $40. This wave of emotion rushed from my head to my toes and back up. And I almost cried. I felt so amazed on how that whole process evolved. So I set an intention to give my children a better Christmas. Within good spirit, that money was there when it wasn't supposed to be. I only took what I needed and had plenty to share. So I shared to somebody who had nothing. And it left me with nothing, but it left him with something. And then I do a good deed. And guess what? The same money came back. Pretty cool story, if you ask me. Work with the universe. It's real.